A very good morning. EURUSD has continued to push down further as we have been rejecting the overall 3-monthly and monthly open level here at around that green zone. So we can see that we've now for 2 consecutive days have seen a bearish daily candle close, and I'm looking for the market to continue pushing its way down lower within this overall daily order flow. Now we can clearly see here that the bearish daily order flow is holding, buy up before a strong sell down. We retrace in towards the monthly and 3-monthly open as we've been discussing for the past few days, and then again we've been heading down lower. So it's very clear that the overall internal trend here remains bearish and that we should be following that overall internal trend until we see otherwise. Now the only scenario where we could see a long play out here for EURUSD is if the overall order flow breaks, which is the top of this black line here. We see, for example, price react to this demand zone, this little demand zone that just pushed price up higher in towards the monthly and 3-monthly open, so it's not very significant, and then, for example, break, retest, and then we could look for long over here. Otherwise, until then, I'm only looking for shorts here with the immediate internal trend that we have playing out, and there is still potential for EURUSD to reach this overall low here of around 1.15276. Now going into the 4-hour time frame, we can again clearly see here that the overall internal market structure is bearish with a strong push down retracement, strong push down retracement, massive push down retracement exactly into the 3-monthly and monthly open, taking out the liquidity highs that we've been discussing. So remember, if you watched last week's video, you remember that we had around 3 different liquidity highs drawn in, and since the top liquidity high we've dropped around 100 pips together with the rejection of that monthly and 3-monthly open. Now myself have been relatively cautious because obviously I already made my money here on the initial dump in towards the downside of around 240 pips, but what we can see is that after taking out liquidity and then retracing into where? Well, into premium pricing, right? So above the 0.5 fib, rejecting the monthly / 3-monthly open and taking out liquidity, we've seen a beautiful dump in towards downside. Now what's happened here on EURUSD is that we've seen a change of character on the 4-hour time frame, further confirming that overall downside bias. So what's happened here is that you can clearly see the overall internal uptrend here in towards the 3-monthly monthly open, in towards the liquidity high. Liquidity gets taken, retraced into premium, and since then we've been selling off. Now the overall bearish confirmation that we have for further short positions is obviously now that we've seen a change of character here occur, so we can now expect that the market continues to head down lower towards these overall equal lows and eventually towards that overall daily liquidity at 1.15276. So looking for further short positions on the lower time frame as well to see if we can get some more short positions. So let's see if we can get a further dump on EURUSD today, and we're keeping my eyes open for further shorting opportunities with that. Quickly giving you guys an insight into the 15 is not the cleanest, if I'm very honest. I'm not really seeing any beautiful opportunities that I'm really a big fan of. So yeah, I'll probably skip out on taking any 15-minute positions on the 1-hour time frame. What I would like though is maybe a little bit more of a dump. Then this here is a nice bump in the road, and then potentially retrace back up, take out that liquidity, and then we could look for another short position. That would be a potential lower time frame setup that you could take, but I know most of you are obviously already trading the overall 4-hour position. Now going into the dollar index, the dollar index is obviously moving bullish with EURUSD dumping. Now you guys know my overall stance here, or stance on the dollar index, where I'm still looking for an overall upside push. Now that we're seeing some bullish pressure, it doesn't mean that the dollar index is just going to go up and up and up and up. There is still a possibility for it to retrace back down towards the monthly and 3-monthly open. But obviously, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, we can already see that we've broken the overall order flow in the sense that this little buy here before the sell down, so buy up before the sell down, that has now clearly been broken. This is now a strong demand zone, so you can look for further longs here to take out these descending highs. So dollar index remains bullish here for me. Obviously, here on the daily time frame, we can clearly see that the daily area of demand is in control, pushing the market up higher. Let's see if we can get that further upside. That would really be preferable to eventually take out a lot of the open highs that we still have here. Looking at the overall price action that we have on the dollar, it's very clear to me that we've had an overextended leg down, and now we're seeing the overall descending correction, fake out on the second low here, and since then we've been retracing back up higher with overall bullish momentum. So let's just follow that overall daily order flow, follow that overall momentum further in towards the upside as long as the market structure holds. And only when, let's say, this line we're here to break, that is the only moment where I would say, hey, maybe there is potential for another shorts in towards the downside. But until then, dollar longs is the only thing that I'm personally looking at. Now going into GPUSD, GU has sold off beautifully again in towards the downside. My top pick overall within this market, you guys know it as well. we can clearly see that after having that ascending correction, right? So it's again an ascending correction towards the highs with a one high, a second high, and a third high, taking out liquidity here to the left that the market then dumped in towards the downside with a strong impulse down. We built liquidity here and here. We've taken out both liquidities, causing an overall massive push in towards the downside. But now we are seeing the real, let's say, internal downtrend commencing. So within this overall internal downtrend, I'm now just following it further in towards the downside. So what I can now see here from a 4-hour time frame perspective is that we have a very, very nice downtrend, right? Push down, pull back, push down, pull back, push down, pull back, and now we're looking for the next push in towards the downside. Now, I must say the overall market structure, the overall price action that we're seeing here from GPUSD is not the cleanest. I'm not a massive fan of this price action that we're seeing here, but overall I am looking for downside continuation. We've now seen a double 4-hour fractal break in towards the downside. By the way, if you want this indicator, make sure to check out the link in the description down below. Also, I'm attaching my WhatsApp number there, so if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me. But that aside, I'm still looking for GPUSD to sell off in towards the downside. For now, what we have here is clearly the overall buy up before the sell down, acting as an area of supply, and I'm looking for this to continue pushing the market in towards the downside. Now, even if this 4-hour supply zone were to be broken further in towards the highs, I would still be looking for, again, sells to occur. So either we just sell off like this, we sell off like this. I'm still looking for that sell off to occur here on GPUSD, and for the overall, let's say, downtrend to continue. We do have a daily demand zone here that is relatively strong as it liquidated its low here to the left, so maybe price will stall inside of there, but it's very nice to see that the monthly and the free monthly open are obviously acting as kind of like an area of additional resistance and supporting us in looking for those further downside or for the downside here on GPUSD. We've taken out the descending highs here as well. After taking out those highs, rejecting the monthly, free monthly open, we've seen a beautiful, how much pip drop? Like 70 pip drop in total. So yeah, looking for further short positions to be taken. Although I must say it is a very choppy market. Myself, I'm not yet in any positions. We're leaving a lot of descending highs behind. I haven't been a fan of the overall price action here. Very rangy and consolidative, not too clear. So even though my bias is still short GPUSD, I hope a lot of you are making money on it. Myself, I'm a little bit sidelined, obviously also because I had an amazing first week of October. So not looking to really force myself into any unnecessary positions with the current month that I've had. But regardless of that, still looking for a further drop there on GPUSD. Now going into AUDUSD, we can see that AU took out, again, this black line over here. So it came back up to take out some highs. Personally, I was looking for this high to get taken out, tap into the green zone, and then potential downside. For the rest, AU is just consolidating inside of this block, so I would not waste your time on trading it. Looking at NZD/USD, it's very similar price action to AU. Also looking for maybe another drive up higher before looking for any short positions. Don't really like the price action that we've been seeing here. It's currently in a range, so you cannot really trade this. In my personal opinion, the only position that I would be looking to take is if we see another drive up and then, for example, see the 4-hour change of character again, and then I'll look to scale into new short positions. But otherwise, I'm not looking to trade this as of yet. Then going into the dollar position, so dollar CAD, dollar yen, dollar Swiss, and then of course gold afterwards. Dollar CAD continues to push up higher. It retraced, I think I mentioned this in yesterday's video, by the way, but we retraced into where? Well, into the weekly open of last week and in towards 4-hour demand. It took out these range lows and has now been continuing its leg up higher, and yeah, I look for this to continue pushing up higher overall. So yeah, bullish on USD CAD still, and I've mentioned it many days already. We're in an uptrend, guys, here internally, so it doesn't make sense to look for shorts. Obviously, we've taken out a massive bump in the road here of liquidity, so it could cause a future sell-off. But for now, when the over 4-hour order flow, when the daily order flow is still bullish, it doesn't make sense to look for any shorts at all. Otherwise, yeah, you're just trying to call tops and gambling. Going into dollar Swiss, dollar Swiss in itself is extremely bearish, with the Swiss franc being extremely strong. So if you are looking for any longs on the dollar, do not look for a dollar Swiss long, is my personal opinion. I'm more looking for a short here on dollar Swiss, as we have a beautiful supply zone here, the monthly, free monthly open here as well. So looking for the market to continue pushing down lower from there. We have an extremely strong area of supply in this over here. And if we do see another drive up, potentially take out the initial reaction here and then get the fire change of character, I would be happy to look for a short position in line with what is also the overall greater trend. Though I must say we can obviously see here that USD CHF has been slowing down quite a bit in recent times, not the biggest trending pair at the moment. So if you are then looking for a position on the dollar, then look for maybe a dollar yen long, because the dollar yen has, for example, here on the daily time frame, retraced into daily demand, and on the weekly time frame also into the weekly sell down before the buy up. So dollar yen overall, I must say, from a weekly perspective, also relatively consolidative. It's not one of my favorite pairs at the moment, but what I can see here is that we've seen a weekly fractal break up. This here is your sell down before the buy up as well. So we've retraced into weekly demand, looking at the daily time frame, also retraced into daily demand, looking at the 4-hour time frame. We've taken out a major bump in the road here, and we've now seen a 4-hour change of character, so breaking this overall order flow, right? So this, let's say, buy up before the sell down, acted previously as supply. We've now taken out that high, so I am looking for dollar yen to potentially continue pushing up higher. If we take out this low here and retrace back into this demand zone, maybe on the lower time frame, I'll be looking for a long position if we see a 50-minute change of character from that daily and weekly open. So keeping my eyes open for a position over there. And then, of course, we have gold, guys. What is gold doing at the moment? Well, gold reached an all-time high again, I think, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So overall, the gold position was extremely, extremely beautiful. I described it yesterday as well. Obviously, after taking out a major liquidity low here again, we started reversing up higher, and yeah, what can you do in a market that is trending upwards? You can only look for buys. So as simple as that, you should have looked for buys, and I know some of you took some gold long, so congratulations if you did. Now for gold, again, what is the next position that you can potentially take? Well, again, look, where is liquidity? So liquidity is, for example, underneath this low here, or for example, underneath this low here, or even underneath these lows over here. So what you now want to be looking for is, again, the lows to get taken out, and then simply look for a new long position after you see 50-minute bullish confirmation. So yeah, looking for that overall long position to start playing out, and I'll be keeping my eyes open if we see any nice change of characters after taking out those liquidity lows, okay? And then see if bullish momentum comes into the market again, as we previously saw, for example, when taking out this low over here. Now, that's it for today, guys. I'm going live on YouTube today as well at 2:30 Central Eastern Time, so make sure to be there. I'll drop a link in the comment section of this video, and don't forget to leave a like and join Discord, as I'm active there with the entire team daily with market updates. Again, thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and yeah, if you have any questions or you want to see any specific videos or educational videos, let me know in the comment section as well. Thanks, guys.